look at what's happening with our next weather sphere. If we opened up the windows, we can't really see too much here because we do have a little bit more of the patchy low clouds and fog that have once again returned. And I just want to show you really quickly where we're seeing a lot of the clouds this morning. And that's because today is the day where the cooling trend officially kicks in. So here's a look at what's happening. We're going to start to see a little bit more of those clouds filling in as we head into each night and morning. But we're definitely looking at some clouds this morning all the way into some of our foothill communities. Okay, so let's talk about the first day of school because we have a lot of school districts headed back today. So one of them in Covina called Charter Oaks Unified School District. They're going to start off with some mild conditions. Then temperatures slowly start to warm up. Not bad for the lunch hour at 78. And then by the time we head into the after school hours, it's going to be nice and toasty, about 88 degrees. Here's a look at some other schools. I couldn't get everything on the list because that list is really long, but I'm going to try to get to it as we head into the rest of the morning. But just know that Acton Aguadose Unified School District headed back today. 95 degrees will be their high. Burbank is headed back. Unified School District here at 89. Downey students are headed back to school, 82. Duarte, 87 today. Tustin, you're looking at highs in the low 80s today at 83. And then for the Ventura County in Ventura, the Unified School District is also headed back. They're going to be much cooler and more mild at 66 degrees because we are talking about the clouds hanging around just a little bit longer. And then we're looking at a little bit more of that sea breeze. So here's a quick look at our next weather forecast. So as I mentioned, the cool down officially begins today as high pressure is breaking down, and it's also going to bring back a little bit more of the marine influence each night and morning as we head into the rest of the week and into the weekend. And then we finally get down to below average conditions as we head toward the end of the week, Friday, into this upcoming weekend as well. I do want to show you though this morning, as I mentioned, we do have a little bit more of the clouds here. So here's a look at where we're seeing the cloud cover. So it's a little bit more extensive compared to yesterday. Remember, yesterday was a little bit more patchy because that high pressure is breaking down. It's allowing a little bit more of that eddy off the coast to kick in the clouds. So that's why this morning we are waking up to clouds from Malibu to Santa Monica, even up to some of our valley communities like Woodland Hills. We're waking up to some gray skies, but it hasn't made its way all the way to Santa Clarita. So that's where it kind of ends, right near the valleys. And then we're definitely looking at some clouds for downtown LA, down into Orange County. And then in Orange County, yesterday the clouds were just a little bit patchy for the Yorba Linda area, but this morning you can see some of it has moved into the Inland Empire. So this kind of tells you that things are really changing. Today's the day where we turn the corner, and then we're looking at some patchy clouds in Ontario, but not too many clouds have made their way into Lake Elsinore. Lake Elsinore still looks pretty clear. Same with San Bernardino, but we're definitely looking at those clouds banked up against the foothills of the Santa Ana Mountains. And then the Saddleback Valley Unified School District in Mission Viejo also headed back today, so they're going to be waking up to a little bit more of the gray skies as well. Okay, let's talk about highs, because once the clouds clear, look at this. We're still dealing with those comfy conditions near the coast. For San Clemente at 73. Mission Viejo, you're going to see a high today of 84, but it's not going to be as hot as the previous days here in Southern California. 85 for Anaheim, and then we are also looking at temperatures still nice and toasty in Whittier in the high 80s. We still have some middle school and elementary schools headed back to the classroom today in Whittier. Whittier has been kind of staggered since Monday, a lot of their schools. 75 for Manhattan Beach, 75 for Santa Monica. We are dealing with triple digits again for Woodland Hills, but the good news is that you could see things have really started to cool down. We're not seeing as many triple digit conditions, and then as we head into the rest of the week, we're definitely going to start to feel these temperatures cool down even more here. All right, let's talk about what's happening with high pressure. High pressure is going to move off to the east, and then because of that movement, that's what's allowing the clouds to push back in. And then look at our temperatures dropping for the first time this month. We're headed into the upper 70s. That means well below average for LA and Orange County. And then for the valleys, we'll see one last day of some really hot temperatures, triple digits for some areas. And then by the time we head into the weekend, upper 80s. So we're going to stay a little bit cooler for the weekend before things start to warm right back up again by next Tuesday. Back to you.